Hey everyone! Ooh, I think we're recording here.
Ooh, puzzle daddies and puzzle mommies.
It
Puzzle daddies
really
and
sucks.
puzzle
I
mommies.
have pussy buddies and puzzy fuckies. I do want to apologize. I just did moments before I hit record. I just did my internationally known John Lovitz impression. Erin and
Oh, they
JPC.
missed out on that?
Yes,
Oh,
I hit the record button a little too late, so
No.
maybe that's something that we'll
no.
get to later on. But yeah, it's a shame.
Someone would have to tee you up for that, huh?
Yeah, it's a pretty. It's
Yeah.
a par four, so it's a
Mhm.
bit of a tee up. Hey everybody, it's our live stream for October, or as I like to call it, Oxpooper.
And it's live to us, but it's not live to you. If you're talking to us, we can't hear you. It was recorded a while ago.
It's Saturday night pre-recorded.
You're
What?
assuming that they're not time traveling while they're watching this.
That's true.
Mm,
Can we
mhm.
say, or does it kill the illusion what time it is at time of us recording it?
Okay, fine. I'll say it. It's
Okay.
7 a.m. November 40th in the year 3030.
That's
And
why
you'll
there's so
never
much blue
believe-
coming out of my window.
And you'll never believe which robot's president.
Yes, you will. It's an easy bake oven, and she's doing amazing.
It's Tay. I will say that it's too soon to be making jokes about there being a new president. The president that we have, we wish him a speedy and healthy recovery. We
Dude.
can't wait until that fascist gets back in the White House and starts doing martial laws.
Isn't it crazy that we have no idea what will have happened when this comes out?
Yeah.
If he's better, if he's...
Who
Someone
knows?
had a tweet online that was like 50 years from now, when there are people who devote like their time to history, will be devoted to their historical studies will be entire periods of time that are just days in 2020.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a historian and I focus on October 3rd and October 2nd, 2020.
My specialty is from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. on October 1st.
And there's going to be a lot of like them researching and being like, this can't be right. And they're like, and then they rush upstairs to their boss and they're like, this is what I found. And they're like, no, that can't be right. Double check. And then they're going to keep finding the same thing. And they'll be like, what was going on with this year? What was going on with these last several years?
They're going to be like, everyone thought they were really funny on Twitter. And really only about a solid 4% of people were being funny on Twitter.
If anyone were to, years ago, turn this in as a plot for the West Wing, universally the critique that they would get would be, not enough CJ. How are you going to cut CJ out of it?
Not enough Mrs. Lanningham.
I've never seen a single episode of West Wing, but from context clues alone, I want to say that CJ is Allison Janney.
Allison Janney's character, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Nice. Mrs. Lanningham is the secretary who always wants him to eat more bananas. And he's always saying stuff like, Merry Christmas, Mrs. Lanningham.
Is it like a sexual thing of like?
Oh, yeah.
No, she's old and her 2 sons died in Vietnam.
Don't bite.
So
Take it
yes.
all. Is West
When
Wing?
my little brother was in high school, he got his his email, like high school email, taken away because he sent an email to the vice principal, David Worland, and it just said, David Worland, eat bananas.
No way. That's amazing.
A lot of people try to be funny in this time and age, but he succeeded.
Yeah.
Should I be watching West Wing? Is that a good show?
No.
Okay.
It's absolute trash. There's a lot of like political theory that like some of the mess that we are in right now is because we look at politics like it's entertainment, which is why we have a reality TV star as our president. And I think that West Wing was one of those stepping stones into just like straight up anything that is like it's made purely for entertainment, but it is also politics, blends those two of those things where they just simply should not be blended.
I completely agree with you. However, I love it. And here's why. Like, a lot of people love high fantasy, and I happen to enjoy my complete and total fantasy in a political world because I just think it's an interesting backdrop for it. I think if we were responsible humans who weren't fucking idiots, we could have enjoyed that show in peace.
Mm-hmm.
But we're idiots. But anyways, I enjoy the writing, and I like when people talk real fast.
Yeah, and I do.
Oh, you love people on cocaine.
Why do you think I like you two idiots?
And JPC, I do want to just say, and this is me being a little defensive, don't ever tell me what should or should not be blended. Every morning I wake up and I go to Jamba Juice and I get one papaya
scrambled
focaccia.
egg and bacon blended into my smoothie.
Here's something I want to talk about. I just went to Dunkin' Donuts, and here's something I can't escape, and I don't know why. So last week I was driving in the car and I turned on popular radio and heard this song, and then I heard it elsewhere, maybe in the background of something else, and then I just went to Dunkin' Donuts hours ago and I heard it playing there. There's a new song that I have to imagine is a smash hit, and that's why I'm hearing it everywhere.
Baby.
I think it's, I guess, technically country song, but I can't. I like cry laughing. The first 2 times I heard it, I cried laughing because the song is a duet between a man and a woman, and it's kind of twangy and country. And the song is like, it fooled me because it seems so optimistic. And the song is like, I hope you meet a man who treats you nice. I hope you fall in love. I hope he takes you out to dinner. And it's like, I hope you guys win $1 million. I hope you get married. I hope you have kids. I hope you love this person more than anybody. And you're just like, what a beautiful thing to hope for.
Uh-huh.
And that goes on for like 3 minutes. And then it's like, and I hope you both hold each other tight. And then I hope he cheats like you did on me. And then it sings it from the woman's perspective. And she says the same thing. It's chef kiss of a song.
I've never heard of it, and I
This
can't
is
wait
like
to
a
look it up.
new popular song?
I think
you don't know who sings it?
I think it has to be new for how much I'm hearing it just out in the world. It has to be new.
Okay.
But it's like a country duet. If anybody knows this song, please leave it in the comments. But the first time I was crying laughing because they slip that in so quickly where they're like, I hope you did it. And then 3 minutes later, they're like, and then I hope it cheats. That's very good.
That's
Adal,
great.
can I take my best stab at that song? Maybe JPC and I can just try our best based on what you've told us.
I would love nothing
Sure.
more. Here we
Why
go.
not?
This is new
JPC,
country
would you like
hit.
to go first? You should go first because the guy goes first and then the lady.
It's a new country hit. I hope he cheats.
And it's called I Hope He Cheats.
He says I hope he cheats, and she says I hope she cheats. Like
Got it. So I hope the partner cheats.
So they're both people who have been scorned and are petty people hoping for doomed relationships.
I hope you go to the pet store and you want to buy a little puppy, but the only thing they have are fucking snakes, you fucking snake. I hope you go to the Waffle House and you say, I want my hash browns loaded and covered and smothered, and I hope the waiter fucking smothers you with a pillow. You cheated on me. You broke my damn heart.
I hope you two do couples costumes, but both the costumes are cheating losers. I hope that you decorate for Christmas, but I hope the decorations are just the blood of yourself because you're a loser and you cheated on me. And I hope she cheats on you like you cheated on me. And I love you and I miss you and I'm writing this song, but you cheated on me and you called me a snake.
And new perspective from the child. I hope my dad apologizes, and I hope my mom apologizes. I hope they get back together, because otherwise I'm going to grow up fucked up. I hope you get back together.
And back to the dad. It's your fault, Kenny. It's your fault, Kenny.
Yes, we both can agree on something. It's your fault, Kenny.
As soon as we're done with this recording, I'm sending you to this song because I have to say it's a bit of an earworm.
I hope to never hear this earworm of which you speak. I wanted to run this idea by you guys.
Yes.
This is a while ago. Mariah and I were watching this cooking show. It's like a cooking competition, and
is this going to be another one of your can't lose investments?
You guys, all I need is
broke.
$15,000 in a minute of your time.
I am broke.
But we were watching this cooking show, and I thought the most fun job in the world would be to be a like celebrity judge or just like judge on one of these cooking shows. But I would like, I feel like it would be, my instinct would be to troll it so hard. And the example that I came up with, or that we were talking about, was like, there was one dish that was like an egg was cooked into the dish. And when you cut open the dish, all the yolk was supposed to like come out of the egg. And that's how you know that they had executed the dish. And they're like, they cut one, yolk comes out. They cut the second one, yolk comes out. They cut the third one, yolk comes out. And like the chef breathes a sigh of relief, like perfect. I did it perfectly. I would love to then eat that dish and be like, I love what you did with the dish, but the egg was wrong. Like usually eggs are supposed to be scrambled together, and it's like the yellow and the white is all scrambled, and yours was just the yellow, which is the wrong way. It was like eating the egg, but it wasn't cooked.
And then it shows a black and white flashback to them being so excited when they saw the egg.
And they it's a judge, so it's like they have to be. There's a little bit of decorum there where they have to be like, okay, yeah, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, chef.
I'm a huge Top Chef fan. I don't know if anybody watches Top Chef. I feel like it's one of the
I'm a
best.
That's the one where
chopped.
they're
I'm a chopped gal myself.
Top Chef is the
Chopped
one
is
where they're
great.
cooking in airplanes, right? While they're doing high
Correct,
stake
yep.
simulations.
Literally higher stakes. And I always thought it would be so funny to have a judge come in where it's like some Voltaggio brother cooks a steak perfectly and seasons it with sea salt and all this stuff, and have the person bite it and be like, "Ooh, this is a little underdone, is it?" And be like, "Sorry," and be like, "What is this, medium?" It's like, "Yeah." It's like, "Oh, a little underdone," and then have them like take out their own A1 sauce and be like, "Ah, it just needs a
I
little
would love
flavor
that.
here."
Taking out your own A1 sauce.
And just putting it
Oh
on one of
my
these
God.
chef's meals
No,
and then just
anything-
painstakingly.
Like sriracha
Yeah.
all over the fucking
But it's so funny
appetizer
to me
that
of
they
like cooking is so. To me, it's humorous because it's so subjective in terms of like even how anybody in the world takes their coffee is like a billion different ways to do coffee, which is like pretty straightforward. So it's so funny to me of like someone telling another person, "You did this wrong," or "I didn't get enough of this or that," and it's like, well, it's all fucking subjective. So who are you to say anything?
I think,
yeah, go ahead.
I think that the point is that people, like the judges, don't have more. They should have super subjective opinions, and it should be like that should be the comedy. Like I would love to like look at someone's plate and be like, I was eating these like little baby pumpkins you have on the plate, and they tasted nothing like pumpkins. It kind of threw the plate off for me. They're like, those are grape tomatoes, and be like, they didn't taste like pumpkins. I'm sorry, I can't move you ahead.
They looked like pumpkins had gone horribly, horribly wrong. So
I've never seen pumpkins that small, and I didn't care for them. You're chopped.
I think that would be a really funny pivot for all of us to all of a sudden become 3 celebrity chef judges.
Oh yes.
I decided something, and so for our November review crew live stream, and it's my birthday month, so you have to say yes. We are gonna all order. Yep.
Well,
Hello.
we have to say yes to the dress. We don't
Yeah, you
have to say yes to
the
your
dress.
idea.
You guys, I watched a bunch of weird YouTube videos about say yes to the dress today. I looked up like the most controversial say yes to the dress moments, and I had the best time. Anyways,
Where someone was like,
And
yes.
speaking
someone
of
said
saying,
yay.
speaking of saying yes to the dress, I do have to comment very quickly. Erin, it looks like you just came from the world's most glamorous hoedown. GPC, it looks like you just showered and dressed after working out at the gym. And of course, it looks like I'm a fucking 3-day mess. Wearing
looks like
teacher's
you
lounge sweater.
have been stuck in a cabin in Montana because of the snow for several days.
The reason that I'm wearing these sleeves, and usually people familiar with seeing this know that I don't like to wear sleeves, is there is no heat in my apartment right now. The radiator died like 3 days ago, and so the guy who fixes it has been out of town. So we have to wait until next week to get them to come in. So the whole apartment is very cold.
And it sounds like you misspoke slightly. Your roommate that lives with you and Mariah, Wade Eater, it sounds like he died.
Yeah, his name is Wade Eater. You know the common last name Eater.
It's Erin's birthday month. You have to say yes.
You have to
Yes,
say
then
yes.
yes. Aaron,
Aaron-
you're watching. So yeah, say yes to the
Yeah.
dress compilations.
Erin, let us know what you're saying.
What was I saying?
You said
you were
for
watching
November's,
say yes to the
No,
dress.
November. The say yes to the dress was a pivot.
Remember?
Oh,
Yes.
a couple of things I wanted to say. The reason why I have so much makeup on is I've had so many auditions. I haven't gotten anything, but I had to record 2 auditions today, and they asked if you lived with another actor to record it with them too. So Sean and I had to do 2 auditions today, and one where we both played elves. And yeah, I think we got it. I don't know if we got it. But that's why I look like this. Number 2.
Well,
it's my
you
birthday
look
month.
stunning. I don't want to make sure you didn't think I was making fun of you. You look stunning.
Yeah, my whole face is numb because I feel like I have been stung by some sort of jellyfish just from
Your face is
interacting with you.
stunning.
Stunning. Stinging. Stunning.
Your
Anyway.
face is stinging.
It's stunting.
It's my birthday month in November, and this is what I want to do. We are going
Okay.
to pick a place that does takeout. So probably have to be maybe like a chain, or I could drop it off at your houses. And
Okay.
for our review crew stream, similar to the Red Lobster episode, we are going to it's going to be like a mukbang type
Yeah.
thing where we all order from the same place, and we're all going to order, like if it's Olive Garden, we're all eating our Olive Garden. Adal, you and I will make the exact same cocktail, so it'll feel like we're having a meal together for my birthday. Are you
And you
in?
said this is called a fuck bang?
Yes.
I'm in.
Yeah, you had me at Mudfuck.
And people can get JPC is a vegetarian. I am gluten free. If there's a chain restaurant or a place in Chicago you want us all to eat from, or a cocktail that you think me and Adal could try, I'm also gluten free, so no dark liquor. Let us
Erin?
know.
Erin, I have to say, I want to hate this idea,
And I do.
I
That
love
would be
this
nice.
idea.
People love
I think
watching
this,
people eat.
I think this is brilliant, and I feel like not only do I want to do this in November to support your birthday month, I feel like this is something we should do every month. I feel like that should be a new part of the live stream, is us reviewing some sort of restaurant food.
I think
that's brilliant.
if we have any listeners that have really bad mesothelioma, or wait, I didn't pronounce that right at all, but you understand what I'm saying. Maybe tune out of that one, because I know that eating on mic or like listening to people eat can be very like weird, triggering for some people who have that specific condition. So
we'll do a trigger warning.
We'll do a trigger warning.
Yeah.
And we'll only do it in November just for my birthday. And I know a lot of people, like, I love watching people eat, so it will be a special pleasure for half of the people, and the rest of the people, we're really sorry.
And
yes.
Speaking of
and since it's Erin's birthday month, you should also, if you're a fan of this, comment what restaurant you think that we should do. Because even though it's Erin's birthday month that she should pick, if there's enough popular demand, we'll do whatever you guys want us to do.
Speaking of mesothelioma and Peter Francis Tracy, I do want to say maybe we should also do, for people who do enjoy that, we should do an idea I had years ago, which is to do an episode called ASMR Are You Afraid of the Dark, where we read chapters of Are You Afraid of the Dark in ASMR voices.
In ASMR voices.
For our horny listeners.
Yeah.
Okay.
Erin was disgusted and then immediately on
Wait,
board.
did you say fuckbang?
Hashtag fuckbang.
Most of our listeners are horny, let's be honest. So, they can, this is already doing it for them. So if we just add a little spice on top, why not?
And we already said we're going to start pouring milk on our feet. So that should be something.
That should be something very soon. Check out our Only Milks.
Can I tell you the biggest part of my week so far?
Yes.
I've been really busy and stressed out, and this has been my stress release, but then it started causing me stress. So I bought a vintage lamp from a place in Andersonville, and I'm obsessed with it. It was pretty cheap, and it's this like vase from the 70s that was turned into a lamp. It's like super dark purple and has like a ship pan painted on it that you can like barely see and only can see when you're up close. And I love like maximalism and jewel tones, and so I was like, this lamp is who I'm trying to be. And I have, for probably 7 to 8 hours total, gone into lamp community on the internet, which I didn't know existed before, but I am deep into the lampshade community.
Lamp community. That's Allison Lamp and Danny Lampy and who else is in that?
Steve Carell saying "I love lamp."
Chevy
Anger
Lampy.
Man. yeah.
Lampy Chase. Is it lamp close enough to where you could show it to us?
Yeah,
okay,
probably.
What if she just reached it and pulled it out?
Honestly,
she's like, yeah, probably.
It's right. Like, I'm touching it right now with my hand, but I'm scared I'll drop it.
Okay.
But I can send, or I can show you a picture. I'll comment a picture on the thing.
Also, any 70s item that's dark purple in the 70s, you pronounce that deep purple.
Yes, because the band,
because of the smoke on the wall.
Only people of a certain age will get that.
Whoa, that's awesome. That looks like a galaxy inside a lamp. That's beautiful.
I'm so obsessed with it. But apparently only people in England care about really gorgeous lampshades. So I found about 8 that I liked, and then realized they wouldn't ship to the United States. And then Sean was like, I think you're gonna snap, because I would keep being like, what did it happen?
Can we do for your birthday next month? Can we do where JPC and I both buy the same exact bland or blank lampshade? We both design a lampshade for you, and then you pick which one is the winner, and that becomes.
Well, that's so funny that you say that, because then after I couldn't figure it out, I watched a bunch of YouTube videos on how to make one, and now I'm going to make one. I'm either going to make one or wait for this random dude on Instagram to make more.
Can I show you guys the lamp that I just got? I literally just bought this lamp today. Let me see if I can put the picture up for you guys.
I don't know why I
Is that Batman fucking Shrek from behind?
It's just Batman. It's Batman holding a pregnant Shrek.
Oh my god.
They have fucked. We assume.
But anyway,
outstanding.
These are
wow,
I
that's
like
pretty.
like really gorgeous Victorian lampshades.
Looks like an opium den lamp.
But I also I just want one that like feels very 70s, like maximalism, jewel tone. I want to make a purple one or a dark green one. So if you know anything or you make lampshades, please contact me. I'm dying to talk about it.
Here's something I want to put out into the ether, because I just did this, I think it was this morning or last night. I've been wanting to for my eventual tiki bar.
Yes.
Yay.
My great grandma had one of these lamps, and I think they were popular in the 60s or 70s.
If you're about to show me Batman fucking Shrek again, please don't make me keep falling for this for the rest of the episode, please.
No, it's Buttman Bat fucking Shrek.
Uh-huh.
But I want one of these lamps so bad to put into my eventual tiki bar. And I, as a kid, was fascinated with these. And I would want to touch it all the time because my great grandma, Fern Brownlee, that was her name, Fern Brownlee. And I used to call her Grandma Brownie because I couldn't speak right. One of these lamps. Did you
Cool.
have you ever seen one of those with like the
Oh,
oil?
yeah.
It's like the oil would go up the strings or whatever.
Yeah, I've seen one of those before.
Those are gorgeous.
If anybody has one of these they want to sell me, if anybody knows where I can find one, because I looked online a little bit and they go for hundreds of dollars.
Well, that's what my issue is a lot of the lampshades that I want are like $300 minimum. And I'm like, they're absolutely no way. So I guess I'll have to make one.
Have you listened to the podcast Throwing Shade?
No, but I'm sure they're
Okay.
part of the lampshade community somehow.
That's all they talk about is lampshades.
Yes, it's throwing the lamp is silent, but it's throwing lampshade.
I appreciate you guys listening to that. I think I needed to give Sean a little bit of a break from talking about and looking at lampshades.
Girl, day or night, you can text me about lamps.
It spilled over so much that I was texting my old roommate about it. I was like, this has to go somewhere.
I got a text from Erin that just said, "Girl, can I talk to you about some shade?" And I was like, "Hell yeah, dish. What are we talking about?" And then she just texted me pictures of lampshades, and I was so disappointed. I really thought we were going to shit talk some of our friends.
It was also 4:30 in the morning. I couldn't believe how quickly you responded to my text.
Well, so here's the thing. I had ordered a pizza, and it hadn't come. So I was just waiting. I'm like a dog. I just sit by the door waiting for my pizza to arrive.
That's how most of your stories start, JBC. You're like, so I had ordered a pizza, and it hadn't come.
If your pizza doesn't come, it sounds like you're not putting in the effort.
Well, no, I think my pizza's just on a lot of antidepressants.
Here's what I'll also say. As a child, the scariest thing in the world to me, and this is something I thought I would encounter like once a week as an adult, the scariest thing in the world to me as a child was lampreys.
Yeah.
Lampreys?
Mm-hmm.
They're like monster leeches.
Yeah.
But I remember I was obsessed with zoology as a kid, and my mom and dad would buy me these books and be like, "Here, go in your room and fucking study this, nerd." So I would just look at pictures of animals and read about them. And lampreys to me, I was like, these are true monsters. They live in the ocean. They're absolute monsters. And again, I thought as an adult, I'm like, I have to prepare to face these at least once a week. I've never seen one in real life.
Yeah, and it's like, and we spend so much of our time as kids like fixated on those things that we think that we're going to be prepared for. We need to prepare. And then it turns out like real life comes, and what? I've been attacked by a bear 70, 80 times as an adult. It's like, I never fucking even thought that would be an issue. These guys, I think they're following.
Well, Adal, I have a quick question for you. I've been looking at so many small businesses and Etsy shops and handmade places. What are there, like, do you have like a list of things that you're looking for your tiki bar that I can keep an eye out for?
Yes. Obviously, the number one thing I want is like tiki mugs. I have maybe 14, 15, somewhere in there. Obviously, the jewel of my tiki mug collection is the Pickle Rick tiki mug that JVC got me. So that's the
jewel of many a collection.
So that's going to be front and center in the bar. And then besides that, I'm looking for, I think I really like, I love tiki culture, but I'm not into like the new fancy, like 3 dots and a dash is very fancy and it all looks very expensive. I want more like kitschy, like a lot of thatch and a lot of like just interesting pieces. So to me, I don't want like carved statues. Like I don't want like actual tikis, like the carved wooden things. I don't want those. But anything that's just like interesting that looks like some sort of cool find. So whether it be like the lamp I just showed, or tapestries that look cool, or
what about like 100 pounds of loose beach sand?
Yeah,
would that fit in?
Yeah,
throw
absolutely.
that down?
Sure, JBC, absolutely. No regifting.
Okay, but first of all, when Erin gave me the sand, it was dirty. Now it's clean. I've cleaned it all. Took me weeks to clean this sand.
So Adal, are you going to paint the bar anything?
I think we're going to leave the bar because right now it's like brick. It's like a brick bar with a black top and then like a marble floor. So I think we're going to cover up the brick with thatch because to paint brick is still going to look weird. So I think we're going to cover that with thatch. And then I think we're going to leave the bar top black. But then I think we're going to paint the walls, maybe like a yellow or a green, and then have one, what do you call that? Not a statement wall, but like a accent wall.
With wallpaper?
With wallpaper.
Oh,
and
nice.
have that be like toucans or palm fronds or whatever. and put a couch in front of that.
I have found so much affordable wallpaper, temporary or otherwise.
Hit me up. And Erin, based on your comfort level, I would love to have you like help design. Like,
Please.
Yes.
I will do it for free. I will spend 100 hours as my dream.
I will also paint for free if you need
Nope.
any help painting.
Nope.
I will tell you right now, the only thing that I can paint is fuck 12 and ACAB on the outside of people's walls. So if you need that on the exterior of your house, I'm happy to do that. But that's my limit. I don't do any interiors because it just doesn't get seen, and my art is kind of like for the public.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna get to some live stream chat questions from our Discord.
Yeah.
This has been really fun. That's all I want to talk about is lampshades and Adal's Tiki Bar, and then JPC. I want to talk. What's your thing? Oh, Batman having sex with Shrek.
No. Holding Shrek gently after sex.
Right, that's your
And
thing.
Shrek's clearly pregnant.
All right,
clearly.
this one is from our sweet Kelly. What is something you've done this year that you are proud of?
I
mean,
something.
The thing that pops into my head, one, thank you, Kelly, always so supportive and so awesome. And the second jewel of my tiki mug collection is Kelly bought me a Beetlejuice tiki mug, which is outstanding. So thank you for that. For my birthday, I would say the thing that pops in my head first, and I don't mean this to be like a joke, even though it might come off at it as it is, the thing I'm proudest of is like staying the fuck inside.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I've been erring so far in the side of caution of just like not doing anything to protect myself and others. And I genuinely feel proud about that. Cause like when I go out and I see hundreds of people crammed into a bar or doing whatever at sporting events, I'm just like, I don't know what the fuck you're doing, but I'm going to stay vigilant and like do my best. So I'm proud of actually like canceling my social life to take a stand against this bullshit.
It's so weird because I've seen so many people in restaurants, because I go on a lot of walks and there's a lot of patio restaurants in my neighborhood, and I've seen so many people in restaurants, and universally what I'm hearing from people who still work in restaurants is that the people who are out at restaurants are like the worst possible people who used to dine in restaurants. So it's not even like, it's not, because in my mind I'm like, I hope everybody who's out there right now is tipping 40% and being so like cautious and careful with people. It's not those people. Those are not the people that are out. So whenever I see people out, I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what are you still doing? It's so wild, especially with like, you know, high profile people getting COVID recently in the news. It's like, you guys understand that it's still going on, right? Like, it's unnecessary.
Sean and I went to our favorite bar, Firehouse, for the first time, and they have their tables in their parking lot. And we went with Sean's parents, and I don't think 4 people or 5 people, because the sisters are there too, have apologized more. It was like borderline, like she was like, okay. Because we were like, we're so sorry that we exist and that we're doing this and this is horrible and I'm so sorry. I was like, this is why we don't go out.
At least it's outdoor. Like I know in Chicago, you know, when you're eating inside of a restaurant, they say that you have to, you can't go into the restaurant without your mask. But then when you get to your table, you can take your mask off. I'm like, what do you think the mask is doing? Like, it boggles my mind that these are like the rules that people are like, this is what keeps us safe.
What do you think the mask is doing? Well, JPC, I'll tell you. In 1996, the mask broke all kinds of box office records.
thing
For number one
I'm
already.
most
I
proud
only
of-
recognize
CGI.
Jamie Kennedy. I only recognize Jamie Kennedy.
Well, that's son of mask.
The thing I'm most proud of is I feel like I haven't compared myself to other people's productivity.
Ooh,
I feel like
that's great.
like the days I can't get out of bed, I'm too sad. Like I am really gentle with myself with that. And then if I happen to write something or work on a project, I'm really proud of that too. But I feel like, especially in the first half of quarantine, it felt like a race to see who was going to like use this snow day the best. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to survive.
Can I just say, that is so cool that you're saying that, because it's stuff of like, you know, JPC and I have written a screenplay. We sold a few projects to NBC, Universal.
Is that the stuff that we worked on?
Oh,
guys,
maybe,
like
maybe. I don't.
I don't know. I don't do.
But it's
I
just
don't.
so-
I don't
it's
get into
just-
weird politics like that.
It's just
I don't
so
talk about
cool.
stuff like that.
It's
That's
so
a negative
funny.
energy.
Leaving the one lady out and not acknowledging her work and going, maybe.
Maybe. But it's so cool that JPC and I have, skyrocketed to stardom based on a lot of projects, and that you're comfortable just keeping your eyes on your own paper. I think that's so brave of you.
It's so true.
Erin, you're
Truly,
so brave.
Sean has created some of the most amazing things during quarantine, and he works for like 8 to 10 hours a day working on this stuff. And I'm just like behind him in the background, being like, do 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 do. like grabbing the Nintendo Switch,
Watching Austin
like,
Powers.
like an energy drink, and like going back to bed.
The last like 4 or 5 days, every day Gemma comes up with a new dance move.
Oh,
And
nice.
that's her thing, is like, because she's like, I don't know what to do to keep myself busy. So she just started coming up with a new dance move every day. It's very fun. Last night, the new move was the grump. Very enjoyable.
Oh.
Maybe I'll post a video of that.
Please.
I think the thing that I am most proud of that I did this year would be planning. And this kind of actually started last year too, which was planning my vacation, where Mariah and I went to Mexico for mid-February, because I got to go on vacation this year and no one else in the world. We got to go on vacation and then immediately come back home and be like locked down for indefinitely. So I know like Adal's vacation got canceled. So I'm very proud of the fact that we're like, it's going to be February. And then the whole world started to turn like 2 weeks after that. And we're like, ooh, Jesus.
And we got to do the New York live show right before.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It was right before.
It is fucking bonkers to me that you going to Mexico was this year. That's when
I know.
Mariah broke her foot.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
That
yes,
seems-
she injured her foot.
That was
seems
6,000
years ago.
It
That's
seems like so
insane.
long ago too, because it was. I mean, that was February, but this year has been just a whirlwind of sameness that is like 4 months became 1 month and 5 months. Time is truly just, yeah.
And
It's just
two became one. The
two
other
became
day
one.
I was like, it sucks that we didn't go to Japan last year, and then I'm like, that was this year.
that must
It
have
was
been
just
this
a few
year.
months ago. Awful.
I'm gonna read another one.
Sure.
Yeah. Wait, did we get your yours was
Yeah.
yeah.
Surviving.
You're not comparing to others, yes.
So I'm gonna come back to your second question later, Kelly. This one is from a drone ninja. So that's literal.
It's my favorite Twitch streamer.
Who is your perfect guest for the show?
Perfect guest specifically for this show.
Specifically for the show.
I know we've listed off a lot of like dream comedians to work with, like a lot of people who are like based in LA and
Mhm.
who have like been on a ton of podcasts or like live in that world. But the perfect guests for our show are usually people the three of us are used to doing improv with. Like I think anyone from World News or anyone from the improv community always feels like so easy. Like when we had Brooke Bright on the show, I was like, this is the easiest.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it flows very well.
I would say, in terms of like someone who could potentially be on the show, I feel like Andy Daly is one of my comedy heroes, and he's an absolute joy, and just I feel like would crush like doing scenes, and he's very smart as well. I feel like fictional, it would be a dream to have Borat on. So
Adal, there's a
his
new
movie-
Borat. Have you
I
seen the
know.
trailer?
I know. Yes, the new movie comes out October 23rd on Amazon
I'm sure
Prime.
we're gonna talk about it ad nauseum.
If we could get Borat on this show, I'd be over the moon. And then I think the third answer for me, because I'm gonna go ahead and give three just for fun. I think the third would be I think it would be legit so fun to get someone who's like, I don't even know the term, like a professional riddle solver, like some sort of like Harvard.
Oh, you don't know the term because it doesn't exist.
Some sort of like Harvard mathematician, someone who's like a Stephen Hawking type, and have them on. And while we're dicking around, they're like legit, like, what is wrong with you three? Like the answer, like, what do you do? Like for them to just like dress us down and us just be active monkeys around this person while they cry from frustration would be so joyous to me.
Adal, that's so funny that you say that because my
Yes.
current dream guest would be one of the Jeopardy greatest of all time champions because like they're so smart and so good
Yeah.
at the opposite of what our show is, which is trivia. And so I think it would be so funny. And they're
Ken
also
Jennings
funny and
on?
nice.
Yeah.
Have Ken Jennings on. Guys, can we get Ken Jennings on the show and then go like we won't make him do any improv. Well, maybe one.
I
but-
actually think Ken Jennings has a sense of humor because he's like funny on Twitter. Like I think he has like humorous
and that
a
other
humorous
guy's name,
side.
I think he just wrote a
name?
book on like the history of comedy, right?
Maybe I know that he's a humorous type of guy.
Would love to have him or what's his name? Let's see. Oh,
Malcolm
God.
Gladwell.
Adal,
JVC, you can go while
I don't mind having Borat on the show. I would love Borat on the show. I don't want that Dali G on the show, though. No thanks to him. He's too disruptive.
What about Bruno?
Huh? And I'm not familiar with this gentleman. Let's get him on the show. Who doesn't know
Brad
who Borat?
Rudder. He's
Brad
another
Rudder.
great, yeah.
Bread and butter?
I think he went on that show with Catherine O'Hara to help her out with trivia. I think we could get
Ooh.
Brad Rudder, Ken Jennings. Start tweeting at them and say you should go on Hey Riddle Riddle. Thank you.
Erin, now that you say it, I feel like any Brad. If we could get Pitt, if we could get
Garrett,
if we
Deborah,
if we could get Bradley Cooper, any of the Brads. Hashtag any Brad. Any Brad will do.
Any Brad will do. Perfect guest for the show. I think it would be someone that I've like maybe always wanted to meet. So love to have my dad maybe on the show.
Oh,
We can track him down.
Oh, sweetie, you think he'd want to meet you?
No.
Oh, that's cute.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
baby.
Now this is funny. CK but spooky. Which is just CK, but it's October now, so they're spooky. If budget and skill level were not an issue, what home improvement project would you most like to do? We were just talking about this, so I'm sure we satisfied.
So budget and skill were not an issue. Home improvement project would you most likely do? So I'll start. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, please.
If budget and skill were not an issue, I would love to build my own house. I would love to just like pick out a plot of land, take some time and be like, I'm gonna, dig the foundation. Maybe
just you with your hammer.
Just me and my hammer digging a foundation for a house. I know that the house that my grandma on my dad's side is currently in was built by her late husband. And it was just like him and his cousins and some friends. And then they like bought all the supplies and they built a house. And that house is still standing. And I love the idea that like a person could just do it. Cause I feel like every time I do any sort of DIY project, I learn so much that if I had to like learn all of the things requisite to like build a house, and I'd probably, obviously you'd have like, it'd take time to learn those things, but you would come out of that experience knowing so much about the way so much stuff works, and not only
how to fix stuff
and how to
too.
fix it. Yeah, exactly. So like when something broke down in the thing that you just did, you spent all this time and energy knowing how to build it, so you could kind of know like what to fix, what to replace, in that way. I think that would be cool, but that's a cheating answer because that's like, I think that's too big. So I just want to throw that out.
I think you could do that in your life. I think that like if you just get really into this old house now.
I know that I can. I don't think that I will, because I think like all things are possible when you put time and energy into them. I don't think anyone is like incapable of learning a new thing. It's one of those things that's like, oh man, I wish that was something that I could do. I just don't think it's for me. Yeah, I don't think it's in the cards.
Yeah. It's cool though.
Very cool.
So home improvement is tough for me because Adal's the only one that owns a house. And it would be different if I owned a house. But things that I've always like, I think that I've. Go ahead. No, please.
I did lie to you too. I tried to buy a house and I got pwned.
Oh, you punked a house. Ashton Kutcher punked you a house. When I was growing up, in the house that I grew up in, we redid the bathroom, and that was always like a very fun, like I look back at that fondly, of like stripping the walls and like helping to gut the tile, and like then you come into this bathroom that you've had forever and it's completely redone. It's new fixtures and all that stuff. I really like the idea of like freshening something up. So I think like taking a room and redoing it, and not just like moving the couch to a different side, but like putting new, paneling in, or new tile, or new flooring. I think that would be very cool and rewarding.
Hell yeah.
It's kind of like building a house, but you're just building one room.
Well, a house has many rooms.
Yeah.
I feel like for me, well, one, I want to be able to build this tiki bar to some degree. And it's not even building, it's like sprucing up what's already existing. But famously, I am allergic to work. And I've been lucky enough, like the past several years, ever since Sadia married my brother-in-law, Doug. That guy is unbelievable. He can do anything. So my entire life for the last few years, anytime
You
I'll
should see him
call
kiss my sister. He's so fucking good at it. He kisses her so deep and
So good.
passionately.
but I'll be like, Doug, can you come over and like open this bag of bread? And he'll do it. Like he's incredible. So I would just like to have any amount of skill because I can't do anything. I am working, so this bar will be my first thing. I do love wood. Like I'm always attracted to any piece of furniture or anything made out of like wood. I think it's beautiful. So I would love to be able to like build a deck or something.
Oh,
So
yeah.
our house has like a little wooden deck, and it's probably seen better days. So I'd love to be able to like redo that or finish it, or whatever you have to do to a deck. Who knows? It's a mystery the world will never solve. Yeah, so I feel like working with wood to some degree. And then also I'm building in the basement, I'm building an office, so I may be working on that a little bit. And then this, maybe my number one project to get done as soon as possible, is this room that I'm in, which is like a weird, in our upstairs there's like 8 closets. I don't know why, but there's a ton of closets. And this weird little room looks like a little Russian sauna bathhouse. So I'd like to turn this into like a straight up studio and put like sound panels all
Oh,
over,
panels,
and
yeah.
have like the sound dampening curtain be like on a what do you call that? Like on a
Rod.
track or something. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, track, yeah. Like
So
on
I'd
the
really
ceiling.
like to spruce this up, and Casey and I came up with a name for this, and to call the studio Pillow Fort. Because
Oh, I love that.
it.
the first week where we had to record, it was like an emergency record. I just stuffed this place full of blankets and pillows. And Casey was like, it looks like a pillow fort in a good way. And I'm like, yeah, that's what it'll be called, Pillow Fort Studios. So that's my number one project, is to like figure out how to make this like a badass studio. So I can feel like I have a studio and not that I'm just like sitting in front of a patio table.
Adal, I did Google it, and the term that you were looking for a deck is shuffle. You would shuffle a deck.
Huh. 50.
I Googled that. Joke. And Google, you know what Google said?
What did Google say?
It said, don't say it.
Oh.
Google said, don't say the joke.
Hey, John, don't say
Uh-huh. Don't say it.
Erin, what do
Is
you got?
that what you call your conscience?
Yeah, Google.
Okay, Google, do I break up with my boyfriend?
Turn left here. Get out of this situation.
Run.
Reroute your life.
I can't make that many changes to my current place. Like, I can suggest that we paint the kitchen cabinets white or whatever, but like my dream of dreams, and hopefully soon, because we won't be in this place that much longer. Like, I'd love to own a condo and then just over design the shit out of it. Like, I love picking out house stuff. I love wallpaper. I love really bold designs. I want like a really beautiful, glamorous house, and I want a kitchen that looks like the Burrow kitchen in Harry Potter, like the Weasleys. I just want. And so, Adal, if you need help with anything, if you and Gemma get bored with any room,
I'm gonna start
like,
sending
Erin,
you,
here's
yeah.
$70.
I'm gonna start sending you pictures of rooms and being like, here's a budget. You pick out what goes here.
I will throw up blood. That is my absolute dream. Adal, I will cry. You guys, you have seen Adal make so many dreams come true for me in my life. And this is another one.
Can I ask, is throw up blood, is that a design choice or is that a side effect?
That's a
both.
Color, yeah.
Okay.
It's like
It's
stucco.
both.
It's like stucco. You've never had a throw up blood ceiling?
Oh, interesting. What I'm seeing for this room is I would throw up blood and puke and bile and poop and shit and just cover the walls.
If you or Gemma, speaking of that, I'm sure that's what JPC's Pinterest is covered in. But if you or Gemma have like photos of like stuff that you like, or tiki bars that you loved going to, I can help like look for wallpaper or whatever you need.
Yes, please. That'd be awesome. Thank you.
Wow, I'm so content. I feel like that was like the best moment of my life. Okay.
We got it.
Me being happy.
We got it, everybody.
Here's what we'll do. If you help me design anything, but especially the tiki bar, I'll have a certain area of the tiki bar or a certain stool or
Named
even
after me?
a cocktail named the Erin, or it'll be called Tikif. Is that fun?
Yes.
This is the Tikif. It is bile and blood.
I get to pick what's in it. Don't have it be piss, please. You can get a shot of piss called the JPC.
JPC.
JPS. Google told me not to say it. Okay. Do you have any guilty pleasure horror movies or franchises that you enjoy? Oh, and this was from Loclo.
For Loco. I don't think this is I might have a better response after I think about it for a minute. I don't think this is truly a guilty pleasure, but I feel like because everyone shits on everything, it might be. I really enjoy the first 2 Scary movies. Like, I think
interesting.
I think they're a blast. I think they're incredibly rewatchable. and I love how they play with the genre. So I feel like, again, it's not necessarily a guilty pleasure, but it feels like enough people shit on those movies or make fun of them that it maybe is.
I don't know. Horror is not really my genre, so I don't know that I wouldn't even go out of my way to watch like a horror movie in any regular context, like even a spooky time of year or anything like that. So I would probably say no. I can't even like I know that I've seen Scream. I know I've seen one Scream movie, but there were more Scream movies, right? Or is it just the one?
There was 4, I believe. Wait,
4, okay.
what did I just say? Did I say Scream?
You said Scary Movie.
I meant Scream. I'm so sorry.
Oh my god, I was gonna say I was like, Adal, I hate to break it to you, but the scary movies
I'm so
don't
sorry.
probably age well. I think there's like a lot of like gay jokes and stuff in there too. So I was
I'm
like,
so sorry.
Those are so funny.
I haven't seen them in so long that I was like, maybe he's right.
I
just
meant
don't-
Scream. And if you go back, I even said, like, I love how they play with the genre.
That's Scary Movie.
Doesn't play with the genre. Scream does.
Well, no, but Scary Movie does play with the genre, just
No,
not in
I
the
meant
way that I
Scream.
think that you did.
Because Scream calls out, like, well, this person's going to die first because they just had sex, and then they do. So Scream is what I meant. And when you said
thank
Scream,
God.
I was like, yeah, I agree with you. And then I'm like, wait, I said 2 words, and I'm like, oh no, I said Scary Movie.
Screamy Movie. So not Scary Movie.
No,
Thank God.
I've watched Scary Movie, I think, in theaters when it came out, and I haven't seen it since. But Scream 1 and 2, I love.
And I also am not a big rewatcher. To Mariah's chagrin, she'll be like, "Let's watch this movie," and I'm like, "Oh, I saw that 12 years ago, so I don't need to see it any more times." But I'm not huge on the rewatch, so I think that this, maybe I get missed. Franchises that I enjoy though, I'll see another Fast and the Furious movie whenever those come out. It's not a horror
Those are
movie.
so fun.
New one
and
was
then-
supposed to come out, and it's got pushed back.
Till next year. The other franchise that I really like is I will watch Alien movies because I really liked Alien. I really like Aliens. I really like what the third one, I can't remember what that's called. But then I enjoyed Alienist. I enjoy all the like Alien versus Predator. Prometheus sucked, but I watched it. Like I'll probably watch any Alien movie that comes out.
Can I ask, where for all of us, where do we think the FF franchise is going? Because I think in the new one, there's
Straight
cars in
to hell.
space. Yes, I think either Fast and Furious in hell, and they have to like race the devil, or if there's a movie where the cars save them.
You are out of your mind if you think that franchise isn't just directly headed to be the whole thing has been a prequel to the movie Cars. You're out of your fucking mind if you think the Fast and the Furious movies have not been a long ass prequel to Cars.
The minute they show Larry the Cable Guy in a pickup truck, we're gonna be like, well, we should have known.
I hope they get to like Fast and the Furious 10, and then like one of the cars just transforms. It's like Vin Diesel, it's me, Optimus Prime. You have to save the world, and then it's just a Transformers movie for 2.5 hours. I'm like, what?
I would go see that movie 100 times just to see the audience reaction for that.
I hope they get to Fast and Furious 10, and then I hope they cheat like you did on me.
What's your favorite thing about Autumn? I like soup and candles.
Autumn was my first grade school girlfriend.
She's so gossipy.
I
She's
actually
so
love
gossipy.
the name Autumn.
We dated. Okay, so Autumn and I dated for about 6 months, and then Liz Ratliff, who I had a big crush on, she called me and she said, "Are you and Autumn still dating?" I go, "Yes." And she goes, "Would you like to be dating me?" And I go, "I don't know." And she goes, "Well, I'll take care of it." And then she called Liz Ratliff and Amber Tinzello, best friends. They called Autumn Stevenson and they said, "Hey, are you dating Adal?" And she said, "Yes." And she goes, "Not anymore." And then they called me back and told me what they did, and I was like, "Oh, I didn't want this for happen. I didn't want this for happen," and it did, and it was awful. And then Autumn Stevenson ended up marrying a boxer named Troy the Country Boy Wida, and that's just a little history of Adal's dating life.
So
love it.
my Autumn story is that I went to grade school with a girl whose name was Autumn. She had a sister whose name was Summer, and she had a brother whose name is, who wants to guess it?
Fall.
Winter.
Josh.
Oh, come on. Commit.
Summer,
Commit or go away.
Autumn, and Josh. Summer, Autumn, Josh. Summer, Autumn, Josh.
Do you remember your first improv?
Wait, hold on. I want to talk about my favorite time of year.
You
now we wanna
found
take
that
it serious.
time T bullshit, you
Sorry.
dummies.
Give us
Let's
one
go
more
over
hour.
to Kelly's question because Kelly asked, "What's your favorite spooky season ritual?"
My favorite
Similar.
season ritual is, I mean, you gotta go for a walk. Fall is when I come alive. Let me just say that. Fall is when I come alive.
Byron asked that question.
My entire wardrobe is made for fall. It's not made for any other time of year, but I power through the other 3 seasons. Going for walks while the leaves are changing, the smell of a bonfire, sitting around a campfire is like my happiest place in the world. If I can sit around a campfire, I am never happier than that. I got to do that with JPC several years ago at a
Yeah.
bachelor party.
You also had a horrible leg injury at that time.
I had to take off my pants and sit by the fire in my underwear, and JPC took a picture of that.
I did.
We'll post that somewhere. And then
I think it's on my Instagram.
I love pumpkin flavored stuff. I love scary movies. My big ritual is probably sitting by. I have to make time to sit by a bonfire. I have to go to a pumpkin farm. Benston's in Illinois is the best. And then 3 is I have to watch Over the Garden Wall.
Oh, I love Over the Garden Wall.
OTGW, baby, OTGW.
You want to bullshit or you want to say something real?
I love to walk. You know, I walk around a lot. And I do love I love the turn of the season. I love like wearing like a hoodie. I like a light jacket. I like it, you know, when it's with, 55 degrees, it's not too cold yet, but you're still like, there's a nice breeze.
And a lot of times you'll take off your pants and jacket.
Yeah, sometimes I'll go outside and masturbate as well. But I love that season change. But I don't think I really have like spooky rituals. I also don't do like a pumpkin patch or a haunted house or anything like that. I kind of like the time of the year. The weather is the thing that really gets me about fall.
I love haunted houses. I usually go to maybe 3 or 4 a year haunted houses. Erin, how about you?
Too spooky for me. Too many haunted houses. I don't really have. I just like lighting candles, making soup.
And that's a ritual? That's
Yeah,
like a spell?
my favorite thing, like kind of clothing item, is coats. Like, I don't like to spend. If I buy clothes, I don't buy expensive clothes, but I will buy like an $80 or $90 coat every year for fall because I just love
you
a
think
delicious pea coat.
So
you think $80 or $90 is expensive for a coat?
For me, yeah, I buy.
Have you seen those Canadian Goose coats?
Lighting candles.
Oh well,
making
I
soup.
do
now
have.
my ex will step and poop.
I mean, everyone has to like invest in if you live in Chicago, like a down coat, like
a winter jacket.
Winter jacket. I had one in Chicago for years that was covered in duct tape because the feathers kept popping out anytime I was gesticulating. I don't know if you remember that phase of my life, and I finally was like, oh, fine, I'll buy a $200 coat. But I mean, like, I like an in-between pea coat that you can only wear for a couple of weeks in Chicago. It's my biggest indulgence, I say.
I think last year was the first year I ever realized where I'm like, everyone has the same coat where it's like super nice, looks comfy, and then it has a patch with like a goose on it. And I think it's like Canada Down or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then I looked it up and I'm like, those look comfortable. Let me buy one. And they're $1,200.
Yeah, no way.
Unbelievable.
You got to wait until the dead of summer, which is what I did, and then go to Nordstrom Rack and then buy the wrong size of a North Face coat because
no one's rack is as big as Nordstrom's. Go.
Do you remember your first improv?
Sail away, sail away, sail away.
My first words were not mommy or daddy. They were suggestion.
Mine were yes and.
I remember, so like moving to Chicago, did the intensive at IO, met Adal on the first day. Adal said, don't pretend wrong while I was walking in.
And I meant it.
Great first impression. Little did I know I'd end up destroying his life. I was doing classes, so I don't really remember the first like improv scene I did in class, but I remember my first improv show in Chicago. It was at the Den Theater, and it was with my class from the intensive. We all did a show together, and I did a scene with my very sweet, handsome friend Simon McCullough from Australia. He still does improv in Australia, but we did a scene together at the Den, and that was my first improv scene. I was dropping off like a box of stuff after we broke up, and it was really fun. And I was like, "Ooh, I'm gonna do this for my 20s." Here we go.
My first improv would have been in college. I auditioned to be in Improv Mafia, which was the improv troupe at ISU, Illinois State. And one of my friends was like, "You should audition. You're funny." And I was like, "Okay." And so my first improv was auditioning for them. And I want to say I had to do like, have you ever done like 5 characters through the door? It's an exercise where it's like you have 1 minute to play 5 different characters, and every time you do a new character, they have to like open a door and come through the door. And I remember vaguely doing that, and I remember like the one thing I had in my arsenal, which I thought was like good improv, was to do like a Southern character. I don't know why, but I feel
No,
like
that's good improv.
being an
No,
improv,
that's great improv.
No, I'd say that, Your Honor, I'd say doing a Southern accent is
yeah.
always good improv.
But I, but I thought that was like good improv. So I distinctly remember being like, "Oh, hey, I didn't see you there." Like, "How you keep," whatever that is, like some sort of Appalachian dude. So that's embarrassing. And then I remember like the first good improv I did was I think at a Improv Mafia show where I did a scene that was several minutes long, where the start of the scene was me proposing to my girlfriend in a hot air balloon, and she immediately said no. And then for the next like 3 to 4 minutes, we just had to deal with the aftermath while being stuck in a hot air balloon.
Oh yeah.
And I remember being like, this could not be going better. What a funny premise. Like I remember just being like, and not even not
That
like I
is
was
a
like,
funny premise.
it wasn't like I was patting myself on the back of like, you nailed it. It was just like everything happened without me trying, or it just kind of all came together, and with my partner's choices and my choices, where I'm like, oh, this is magic. Where if you don't push too hard and you're not too sweaty about it, things can kind of work out for the best. So I remember that being like my first aha moment.
That the perfect premise thing makes me feel I'll never ever forget this. There was a scene I was doing in practice. This is in Devil's Daughter, so this is not my first improv, but two people were in a scene where they were on a Ferris wheel, and they were like a couple who was on a Ferris wheel, and one of the people at our team, Max, he didn't hear the word Ferris wheel at the very beginning of the scene, so maybe like 2 minutes into the scene, he comes out as a waiter and drops off some water on the table and then leaves. And I fell on the floor dying laughing so fucking hard. And then for years, we tried to make a solo bit work where you're a waiter on a Ferris wheel to be like, hey, everybody, how's it doing? How's it going? Hey, can I get you some water? Or can I? Just like
That's phenomenal.
But I started improvising when I was in high school. I don't remember.
JPC, I wanted to play a really quick game with you really quick.
Oh, yes,
Speaking of you
please.
improvising in high school. You started doing comedy sports at like 14, 15, something crazy like that.
Yes.
Okay, so can you just rattle off probably like 6 or 7 things you said in a comedy sports show during early high school?
So what I was going to say was the first. So comedy sports is this like, it's clean. So that's why it's kind of like safe for like high school kids basically, because there's rules. You can't say anything dirty. And the first brown bag, which is they put a brown paper bag over your head if you say something dirty, that I ever got was at a comedy sports high school or league show. I was playing the Do Run rap, I think. And I used the term shacking up. Like I was like, oh yeah, shacking up with this person's name, and you rhyme the name, and I got a brown bag, and I was like, what? Like, what did I say? Like, what is? I didn't know that there was like a sexual connotation to shacking up. I just thought like shacking up just meant like living together, because I guess in my mind, like living with another person is not so like puritanical as that. But I remember like being like confused and ashamed because I was like, oh, I always thought that when I got a brown bag, it would be because I really was trying, like I was trying to get something in and like slip something in, not just because I like said a thing I wasn't super aware had like a sexual connotation.
Oh, it's horrible.
I know it wasn't bad. I was just so confused. I remember being like, that's why it's like a strong memory for me, because I was wildly confused in that moment. I was like, what did he think I said? Because I didn't say that.
Adal,
how
about you instead? You say, like, we'll go back and forth and say things that maybe JPC said when he did improv in high school.
He probably put on a Viking helmet and grabbed like a wand, and he's like, I'm a magical Viking. Expelliarmus.
He probably said, hey, Mom, what's for dinner?
He probably said, I got Expelliarmus from school.
Oh, no, I was actually funny. Can you guys hear spaghetti?
Yeah.
Speaking of actually funny, I'm so sorry. I do need to take this chance. Erin, I'll pitch this to you. So, he mentioned Shaq, right? Shaq being a sexual term, which makes me think of when I was a childhood, listening to the B-52s was a revelation. And I just wrote a new parody song in the last couple minutes here that I want you to listen to, and I want you to give me notes and give me your honest opinion, because I want to.
Okay, I got it. Okay. This is I think JPC quit.
I think he did too. I think it's a long time coming. So this is my parody song. This is my parody song that I'm trying to pitch to you to, and I want honest feedback. And this is called Love Shrek. Okay, so it's Love Shrek, baby, love Shrek, yeah, love Shrek, Adal, love Shrek, great. And then it goes, well, I got me a donkey. He's as big as a bog, and he's about to eat a frog. That turned into Dracula, but I'm trying to be Scottish. And it goes on like that. So, Erin, it seems like you're forcing a smile. But the song is called Love Shrek.
No.
What I'm looking for you is $15,000 and 1 minute of your time. And I feel like this could be the next Weird Al.
I will absolutely give you the $15,000 if this ends here. This is the last time I have to hear about this.
Love Shrek. Adal loves Shrek. Yeah. Pretty good.
Excuse me, Spaghetti. I got a question for you. Spaghetti, what's some of your favorite autumn traditions?
Pooping outside, having someone else pick it up.
Spaghetti.
Thanks,
How many times do you eat your butt a day?
Mariah had just texted me that she was running out. She was like, I'm running out. Spaghetti is absolutely asleep right now, so just in case she barks. And then I just walked outside because she was barking very loudly. She had just woken up and no one was there, and I think she like got freaked out that no one's still there.
Sweet
It's okay, Spaghetti.
Sweet spaghetti.
Very fun. The other thing that I was going to say was a memory of improv is we had like one of our high school coordinators was the guy from Comedy Sports, Ed Trout, who was always the one who was at our school. But one day there was a different guy whose name was Dave who came to our school to teach us some other Comedy Sports things. And Dave, yes, Spaghetti, I'm telling the story. You can fucking come on. Dave taught us the game Back in My Day, which is a stand and deliver game where it's like you have like a pencil and it's like back in my day, we didn't have pencils. If you talked about pencils, they would lead you out of there or whatever. You make a pun. It's a pun game.
Adol's like, I'm listening. Mom, what's for dinner?
We got universally focused on the setup of the game, which is like you're basically taking on the concept of an old-timey character who didn't have this thing. And, back in my day, we didn't learn how to play that game at all because they were like, all right, back in my day, it's like pencil. And we'd be like, back in my day, I didn't watch 4 of my buddies die face down in the mud and North and Korea deserve no pencil. And it was like, no pun. It was just like crazy old people. And I remember Dave, who was teaching us the game, was like, no. And we were all like dying laughing because we were having so much fun. He was like, no, that's not. It's about making jokes about the word pencil. We're like, I think I got it. Back in my day, salt was spoons and nobody had shoes and you had to walk 15 miles.
Now we know the JP Riddle's real origin.
I remember when I did improv because I got onto the team in college. I got into Improv Mafia. I remember that we used to do Sex Is, which we all know.
Oh yeah,
which Sex Is Me is like a blank because blank. But I remember being not that I was like ahead of my time or anything. But I remember having to explain to the guy who ran the team my jokes because we like in a rehearsal or in a show. I think I said something where it's like somebody was like Michael Jackson, and at the time that was funny, and obviously not anymore. So dated, but I remember being like, "Sex with me is like Michael Jackson, bad." And then I remember like when we did like notes afterwards, the guy was like, "So the whole point of this game is like to do a pun or do something funny." I was like, "Yeah, it's not necessarily a pun, but it's like a play on Michael Jackson." He's like, "How?" And I'm like, "Well, his song, bad." And he's like, "No, you're supposed to say like Sex with me is like Michael Jackson. I do it with kids." And I'm like, "Well, no, that's not what my humor is." And he's like, "Well, that's what we're going for." And I'm like, "Well, bad is like a joke on his song.
It's his
Bad.
song.
He has a song called Bad." And he's like, "I guess, but that's not." And I remember like not fighting, but being like, "I think my humor's correct. I shouldn't have to explain it to you."
No, you were on the right track.
I would love it if like after a Sex with Me, like the note session was just like, hey, Adal, like when we were playing Sex with Me, you were talking about all this stuff of like sex and like how it like feels to have it. It's like, come on, man, that's not really like what we do
That's
because
so
like
funny.
we're an improv team, so we haven't like had
Sex with me is
sex.
amazing. And if you let me buy you a drink after the show, should we play one round of Sex with Me before we go?
Yeah, sure. Oh, you know what? Why don't we use the suggestion of autumn since we spent too much of our time joshing around when we got that suggestion.
Mm-hmm.
Josh was the brother's name. That's kind of my humor. All right, so autumn. Sex with me is like autumn.
Sex with me is like autumn. After you do it, you're gonna want to leave.
Ooh, Sex with me is like autumn. I do it 1/4 of the year. Sex with me is like autumn. I have pumpkin spice cum.
Sex with me is like autumn. You're gonna call me basic.
Sex with me is like autumn because afterwards I will fall off of you.
Sex with me is like autumn because I've plowed enough. Oh, I fucked it up.
Sex with me is like autumn. It's colder than you think. Huh?
Sex with me is like autumn because I'm gonna carve you up. I'm so sorry.
Sex with me is like autumn. I'm a one pump can chump.
That's actually very good.
Sex with me is like autumn. Oh boy.
Hmm.
I fall during
More
sex.
fall stuff.
Fall during sex. What else? I got a Halloweener. What else?
Halloweener. Sex with me is like autumn. Hope you like getting gored.
Sex with me is like autumn.
Sex with me is like autumn. We're gonna cornucopulate.
Yeah. Ooh, nice
Ooh,
one.
that's
Yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah.
What else? Harvest that ass.
Sex with me is like autumn. The older, no.
Trick or skeet.
Yeah,
What else?
like Halloween. Sex with me
Mhm.
is like autumn. You only have to wear a costume once.
Nice.
Sex with me is like autumn. Thanksgiving you head.
I don't think we're gonna do better than that.
Thanksgiving you had.
You guys put your sex with me is like autumn in the Discord. I would like to
But
read
remember, don't do Thanksgiving me head. I already did that one.
It'll put a pilgrim on your face. So that's going to be all for us for the October live stream. Thank you all so much for your patronage. Thank you all so much for indulging us. We hope you're doing well. And next,
what? Oh, God, I'm sorry. I
I was going to
stepped all
say
over that.
next live stream. Don't forget, we're going to do a little bit of a special treat where we're going to be reviewing some sort of food. So let us know what food you want to eat for Aaron's birthday, and what cocktail you want us to make. And Japes, what do you got?
Oh, I was just going to say, 'cause I can't even remember if we mentioned it. We may have mentioned it at the top. But if for the review crew this week, or this month, I should say, the one that won the poll was Scary Stories, but it is not available. Did we already mention this?
Not
Oh.
on
remember.
here. So yeah,
it is not available for free on Amazon Prime like we thought it was. We think it left Prime in between when we posted it and when people voted on it. So we went with the second most option, which was Nancy Drew in The Hidden Staircase, which is on HBO Max for free. And I think you can also maybe get like a trial of HBO Max as well. So that's the one that we're watching. And if Scary Stories ever comes back for free, the only way to get it was like to buy it for $15, which is insane. We don't want
Insane.
people to do that.
I had a blast watching Nancy Drew, and I loved recording the episode. It was so fun, and we laughed really hard. So I'm sorry if that you're really disappointed, but I hope we made up for it.
It
with
worked
a
out
fun
for
episode.
the best. Worked out for the best. And the last thing we want to do before we say goodbye is we do have a live show coming up. I believe it's Tuesday, October 13th. Is that right?
Ooh, spooky.
So please buy tickets. GBC, I believe the ticket site is headgum.com/tickets. No, live shows.
Backslash live. Headgum.com/live. And then you can click the link on our thing and get to the ticket link. Yeah.
And we'll wait for you to go to headgum.com/live. We'll wait for you to go right now and buy tickets. And while we wait, we're going to dance to the Austin Powers song. So let's go ahead and do that.
By the way, I did check out.
Oh,
I did
okay.
check out headgum.com/live. Since it's the pandemic, we are the only thing listed. So.
Oh, that's so funny.
And in case people don't know, let's set the record straight. In case people don't know, we will be there in the theater with nobody else, and then you watch live streamed on your computer. I think the show's able to be watched up to 24 hours.
Yeah.
But we're hoping to. We've sold a bunch of tickets. We hope to sell a bunch more. We hope for this to be a chance for anyone who can't typically see us at a live show to be able to see us at home. We're gonna try our absolute damnedest to make this an incredibly special show. So please buy tickets. Please spread the word. We hope to see you there, and we can't wait to connect with you all.
And I think we get to go a little long because originally the show was supposed to be 2 shows, and I think now we get to do a little longer. And so we might do some like obviously some Hayward Riddle stuff, but we also might like throw in some Patreon-y stuff, and I won't say what that is. But at the end, but there's also
Disney
like a live
Twins.
Disney
Just kidding,
Twins.
we would
No,
never
yeah,
do
live
that.
stream Disney Twins for 30 minutes. But there's also like a live chat, so we can take suggestions, we can take riddles from the audience. We hopefully will be able to interact with the chat. I believe that is the case. So yeah, very much looking forward to it. I think it should be a very, very fun time.
Erin, do you still want to do the Austin Powers dance?
Mm-hmm.
Tea and cookies, cookie chocolate, cookies.
What?
Shrek, Adal love Shrek.
Adal, hold on. Wait,
Oh.
Erin just got a call.
I got a call from the internet. They say we're terrible.
Is that what you call your conscience?
Google says we're terrible.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.
See ya.